Welcome to the CPM Customer Success Podcast, where we help Office of Finance leaders enable an exact solution to enhance their corporate performance without spending countless nights and weekends in the office. Hi, I'm your host, Andy Smetana from Nova Advisory. Nova Advisory is a 100% OneStream professional services diamond implementation partner. We help OneStream customers and prospective OneStream customers get the most out of their OneStream investments. For CPM Customer Success listeners, we now have a weekly email newsletter to keep you informed on the latest CPM Customer Success news. By subscribing today, we'll keep you informed on episode releases, including customer success stories, OneStream interviews, and capabilities to keep you up to date about OneStream's unified platform for finance. You can check that out now at Nova Advisory's website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success podcast newsletter today. A few days ago, OneStream announced a major expansion of its strategic alliance with Microsoft, strengthening collaboration across Azure, Microsoft 365, Teams, and especially AI capabilities. This is big news for CFOs, CAOs, controllers, and FP&A leaders. And with the holidays right around the corner, we thought we'd explore it using something a lot of us are probably thinking about right now, and that's Thanksgiving dinner. Mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey, the whole 9 yards. Stick with me here, because if you've ever wondered why bringing your CPM tools together into a single platform matters, there's no better metaphor. So today we'll discuss what this announcement between OneStream and Microsoft really means for the office of the CFO, how it ties in the importance of a unified CPM platform, and why your fintech stack should look more like a coordinated Thanksgiving meal than a scattered potluck. So by the end of today's episode, you'll understand the significance of this news and hopefully walk away with even more excitement to dig into this Thursday. So let's begin with the headline. On November 18th, 2025, OneStream announced its deepening of its strategic alliance with Microsoft, which accelerates AI adoption and delivers more value to the office of the CFO. So what capabilities will this introduce? Well, first off, finance teams will now be able to interact with OneStream's finance-aware SensibleAI Agents directly inside of Copilot. So this means there's real-time variance explanations, forecast suggestions, operational insights, automated commentary, and data quality checks, all within Microsoft's platform utilizing OneStream's technologies. And so instead of exporting data or running offline analysis, you can simply ask Copilot, explain the gross margin variance in EMEA, and it can return a structured, governed answer based on OneStream's unified data. Second off, Teams becomes a true finance command center. Users will be able to ask natural language questions about finance or operational performance. You'll be able to pull up dashboards and reports, launch scenario models, and analyze trends, all within the existing Microsoft Teams workflows. There's no app switching, there's no lost time. Insights come to where collaboration already is happening within your organization. Third, Excel becomes an intelligent extension of OneStream. Excel doesn't go away, but it gets supercharged. Within OneStream's native extensions in Excel, finance teams can run predictive analytics, anomaly detection, intelligent forecasts, and real-time queries of OneStream's dimensional model. All that's directly in spreadsheets, but without spreadsheet risk. Finally, the partnership introduces Azure native performance, marketplace purchasing, and deployment. OneStream is fully Azure native, and now organizations can procure OneStream solutions within the Microsoft marketplace and even apply Azure consumption commitments. So for IT and finance, this means faster deployments, simplified approvals, scalability, and alignment with Microsoft's security and cloud architecture. Because these AI and automation capabilities are built directly into Microsoft's 365 and Microsoft Teams, the Office of Finance will get less context switching, faster decision cycles, better data governance, and more accurate forecasting. This is important because the biggest challenge finance teams face is dealing with too many tools that don't talk to one another, which brings us back to Thanksgiving dinner. So think about your classic Thanksgiving spread. You've got turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, maybe a pumpkin pie waiting in the wings. Each dish is great on its own, but Thanksgiving dinner is special because everything works together. The flavors complement one another. The meal becomes more than a set of individual items. So imagine this. The turkey's in the dining room, but the mashed potatoes are next door. The cranberry sauce is down the street. Guests are left wandering around the house trying to assemble a good meal. And that's what legacy CPM feels like. Some Excel files sitting in someone's desktop like forgotten dinner rolls, separate tools for planning, consolidations, reporting, and KPIs. It's exhausting and it's misaligned. In that environment, nothing reaches the table at the same time. Things get cold, people get frustrated, and no one can enjoy the full meal. In contrast, when you bring everything together on one table, one unified platform, suddenly it all starts to make sense. It becomes orchestrated, coherent, and enjoyable. That's exactly what OneStream does for the finance tech stack, pushing even further with the introduction of SensibleAI Agents in Microsoft products. So let's talk about some customer examples that prove this point. Our CPM Customer Success stories for the week. Let's start with Tronox, a global mining and refining company. They've got thousands of employees operating across 6 continents, and they've got a really complex planning process. Like many global enterprises, their finance processes have become scattered over time. Their CPM tools were all over the place. They had SAP BPC for some processes, they had Hyperion HFM for others, Hyperion Planning for budgeting, they had statistical models that lived in different locations, their cash flow was manual, and their forecasting process could take nearly 3 weeks. Working with Nova Advisory, Tronox has implemented OneStream as their unified platform for all of this. Suddenly they had detailed manufacturing and COGS modeling, they had automated balance sheet and cash flow generation, and a planning process that became faster, cleaner, and far more predictable. Everything was finally in one place. And because it was all unified, the finance team suddenly had the time and visibility to actually analyze their business, not just assemble numbers. So let's talk about another CPM success story for this week. This is a global major retailer, household name you all know. They eliminated more than 90 Excel sheets. They replaced 5 systems. They reclaimed 25% of finance team capacity when they moved to OneStream. So imagine getting a quarter of cooking time back on Thanksgiving. These examples show what unified CPM platforms do. The Microsoft platform accelerates this value. It delivers insights into the tools that teams rely on daily. So now while this partnership opens the door to a lot of new capabilities, there are also a few important considerations to keep in mind to make sure that you're getting the full benefit. So first is governance and controls. They still matter, they're still important. AI doesn't replace the need for strong financial governance. You'll want to ensure clear audit trails, you've got solid data lineage, and controls about how AI-generated insights are used. Because these outputs may influence or even directly support external reporting, governance is fundamental. Second, your OneStream data model needs to be strong. AI is only as smart as the data that you're feeding it. The more structured, consistent, and complete your OneStream dimensional model is, the better the results you'll get from your SensibleAI agents. So think of this as preparing the foundation before you scale. Third, change management is key. Many finance teams are used to switching between tools, exporting data, or leaning heavily on spreadsheets. Introducing AI-driven workflows inside of Microsoft Teams and Excel is a shift, and it requires training, communications, and confidence building. The technology is ready, but your people need to be ready also. Fourth, start with a focused, high-value use case. The best deployments begin with a narrow scope where impact is clear. Examples include anomaly detection, reconciliation automation, or forecast scenario modeling. Once you get early wins in place, scaling the solution becomes much easier. So yes, this partnership offers a huge step forward for finance. And with the right governance, data structures, licensing plan, and change strategy, it becomes much more than an upgrade. It becomes a true transformation. So let's return to our Thanksgiving table one more time. Are you serving your organization a complete, unified feast of insights? Or is your team wandering from room to room with half-filled plates? Consolidation without planning is like turkey without stuffing. Planning without operational KPIs is mashed potatoes without gravy. Separately, they're okay, but together there's something exceptional. That's the philosophy behind OneStream, and that's the philosophy the Microsoft partnership reinforces. The idea that the Office of CFO deserves one platform, one set of data, it's one intelligent ecosystem. Everything's on one table, working together, and ensuring that your stakeholders are being served one great meal, not scattered leftovers. So on behalf of Nova Advisory, to all those that celebrate this holiday, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us for this episode of CPM Customer Success. Reminder to check out the CPM Customer Success weekly email newsletter to stay informed of the latest CPM Customer Success episodes and OneStream news. You can check that out now at the Nova Advisory website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success podcast email newsletter today. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week for another episode of CPM Customer Success.